Rain, rain, go away, come back the other day. Or another day. Whatever, however it goes. Hey, Crafted family, it's pouring outside. It's raining like a biatch. I don't know how much more rain we could take around here, because it's always raining. I can't stand it. It's always raining. But look how pretty this is. Isn't that pretty? This is a boho tassel. And it's gorgeous. And I'm going to show you how to make it. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so let's make some, shall we? So, in part 1, we jelly printed feathers. In part 2, we decorated them, I think. I don't remember. Something like that. We stamped on them and stuff, but I'm going to show you another thing real quick before we do anything else. Something we were doing in the live stream is before, like, see how we would do these kind. Now, if you want to, you can emboss on the feathers. So, if instead of just doing with ink, you can stamp with Versamark and emboss, you know, whatever color you want, gold, silver, whatever color you want, black, white, orange, purple, pink, whatever. I like doing the gold because I think that looks the best. So yeah, so you can get that effect. So I'll show you. We'll do a couple. Let me get a stamp because I think I put them away like a dingbat. I'm a dingbat, I'm a dingbat, I'm a dingbat, I'm a dingbat. Here we go. We can use this one. We can use that one, and we can use this one. Okay. We can use the music notes, and this we can use this script stamp. I was using a different one before, but we'll use this one. Okay, so I'm going to use a scrap piece of paper. So that I don't get the glue all over everything. And you're going to use Versamark. And I've got my gold right there. I'm going to move my feathers out the way so I don't make a mess. I want to be careful not to mess up my feathers too. Okay. So we're going to take our script stamp and we're going to get it inked up with the Versamark, which is basically just a sticky ink meant for this. Now you want to be careful of something. You're not going to be able to see the Versamark on here when you stamp it, unless this stamp is really dirty, which then you might. So you want to keep an eye, like I'm going to put my finger there. See, I can't see where it is. Even if you lift up, unlike paper, even if you lift up and tilt it to the light, you still are not going to be able to see where you stamped it. And if it comes to the part where it's got the quill is right in the middle, I usually try to put my hand underneath of the stamp and really push around that area so it gets really stamped really well because of that quill. You just got to be careful doing it. And then I got to make sure I know where I'm at. Okay, see, the stamp is dirty. That's okay because the gold is going to cover it. But that's the only... I'm going to do it under the paper. Okay. And then of course you want to clean off your stamp. From the Versamark. Now we're going to turn this over so that the stuff doesn't stick everywhere. Now we're going to put our powders on. We's going to put our powders on. Put our gold powder on. Now sometimes you're going to have to take a brush and get any of the stuff out that you don't want. So you want to take a semi-stiff brush, you want to go through, and you want to check any areas that might not be what you want. You know what I mean? Jelly bean? You want to get any of the Versamark or the embossing powder that you don't want off certain areas. I mean, you're not going to be able to make the text out, but as long as it's, you know, it looks like text and doesn't just look like blobs, then you're good to go. My text looks a little bit blobby, but it's not too bad. It's going to be good. Okay, now I'm going to shut this because this is like, don't need that to blow around. And now we're going to emboss that, which means turning on the heat gun. And I'm going to let it heat up for a second before I actually put it on there to melt. Alrighty. And look how beautiful that is. Is that not gorgeous? Gorgeous! You can also, rather than just do that, you can also do different effects without stamps. And where is it? I'm trying to find it. Where did I go with it? Uh-oh. Did I lose it already? Oh, there it is. You can take the eraser on a pencil, just make sure it's kind of flat. And again, pay attention to where you're going because you're not going to be able to see it once it's down. But you can put some Versamark on it and try to remember. And you can always go back if you didn't do a good enough job or you forgot an area. You can always go back and like redo it. And you can make yourself some polka dots. And the last one I put was like there. Now I forget where I was here. See what I mean? Like you forget. But you can go back. It's not really a big deal. Okay. You do like that. And then again, you're going to put your powder. And that's an easy way in case you don't have a script stamp. You don't have to do a script stamp. Instead, you can do polka dots. Oh, look at that. Now, like, see right there, I can see that I could put one. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is find my paintbrush. Where's my paintbrush? Oh, there it is. And before I go back and put my, dang it, come here, and put my thing back in Versamark, I'm going to, and this is a good time to clean up around any of your little spots, and just take your thing and clean up any Versamark, because even a dot of Versamark, I mean, even a dot of embossing powder off of where you want it to be will show up when it's heated, and you don't want that. But you want to do this to the area that you're going to add some more to, so that you don't get, you know, Versamark stuck in there. So I'm going to do one there, and I'm going to do one there, And I'm going to do one up there. And I'm going to do one there. And now, where's my little spoon? Oh goodness, everything is lost today. I'm having a day. I'm having a day. Bear with me. I'm having a day. Okay. Now I'm just going to go back through again with the paintbrush and just make sure that it's only where I want it to be. It likes to hide on the quill, which I learned is what and it's not the vein and it's not the stem, it's the quill that goes through the middle of the feather. Yeah, you learn something new every day. I should have known that, and I think I had said that in the one video. I said, what is it, like, is it a quill, is it a vein, is it a... I didn't know what it was called officially, but it is a quill. So, I'm still going to call it a stem because I was calling it a stem too much, and so now that's in my head. So, okay, now we're going to heat this one up with the polka dots. I like the polka dots. They're some of my favorites. Look how cute. Oh my goodness, gorgeous. Gorgeous. So, when you're done doing all of this stuff to your feathers, either doing this with Versamark or, oh, I forgot another one that you could do. Another one you can do is, let's see, I want to do it to one that's stamped though. Or at least I thought I did. Well, maybe I could stamp it later. Well, I could stamp it now. Here's another thing you can do. Let me get some ink. Okay. Boy, I'm making quite a mess. I'm only going to stamp it from here. What am I looking for? Here we go, that'll do. That ain't gonna help get the stamp down, but it'll get some of that ink off. Okay. That's what I wanted. Okay, I got the script stamp on 3/4 of it. Get a different piece of paper. I'm gonna have to give this a second to dry because Versamark takes a little while to dry. Let me hit it with the heat gun lightly. Okay, hopefully that's dry because I don't want to smear it. I'm gonna throw that away and get a new one. It's covered in stuff. It's covered in stuff. Let's get a new scrap sheet. That's what I use, these little papers. I have a folder of them. I recently stuck them in a place where I can get to them because it's just my fingers want to grab 5 of them and I just need one. That's the only problem here. They're just old papers I don't need anymore that I've either had printing on that I didn't like, it didn't come out right, the colors came out weird or whatever from a long time ago. So anyway, now what you can do is you can gold foil just the tip like I did on this one. This one I did the tip and then down the sides a little bit. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but you can if you want to. but you can take it and press it into the Versamark. Make sure you press the quill, the center, and make sure that Versamark gets around either side of the quill. Otherwise it won't put ink there, and the stuff won't sit there. The gold, the embossing, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. And wiggle that around a bit. Tap some of that off. Set it aside and put my powder away before I end up losing it. And now we will heat set that. Now, as long as you don't hold the heat on it for a tremendously long time, you're not going to melt the feather. The most that'll might, like these wispies, sometimes if you emboss them at all, they'll kind of like here, like on this one, they kind of get like you know, mushed together, which is fine. You know, there's nothing you can do about it really. You can cut them off if you want to, but I kind of like them that way. So, but otherwise you could just do something like this. You could just do the tips, you know, it's up to you. You can kind of just do whatever you want, really. I find them to be really, really pretty. I like to have a variety of them because, and I'll show you, when we're doing the boho tassel, which is putting 3 of the feathers together, it looks better if you have a variety and not just all embossed or all stamped like the same. So in other words, I would take one with a gold tip. I would take like one like this, different colors, because the whole point is to have different bright colors together. Would make, you know, maybe not that one because it's so close to that color. Maybe this color. No, let's see. Maybe this one? Nope. Yeah, you want to go through and kind of, ooh, there we go. And kind of pick 3 different feathers, 3 totally different feathers. And you could further go through and still glitter the centers of these, you know, do whatever you want. Now, here's another trick, another thing about putting these together. It's hard to get them to go together. You have to find 3 feathers that are going to be like, work together. Sometimes you end up going, okay, scratch that and get a different feather, because they don't always want to work together, because you generally want them, a couple of them, to go in one direction, and then, you know, the other one can go in the same. Obviously you want at least two that are going in opposite directions. You don't want them all going in the same direction. And then you want one that comes like from underneath, kind of. But if it doesn't want to sit right, then you got to either, you know, redo it, like maybe these 2, and then this one underneath might be better. That's what I'm thinking. Because they have to kind of, the quills all have to kind of line up together. Like, where's the one that I did here? You know, if they all kind of go together nicely, they will, I don't know, they will look better that way than if they're all jumbled up. So you kind of want to get the quills to sit together. Like these 2 sit side by side. And then this one either underneath or next to it as well. You can either get it to go next to it, or, and then just mess around with it until you figure it out. You might be able to lay them down and mess with them, and, you know, it's just a matter of screwing around with them till you get the right result. You can mess with the length. And because you don't want to cover any one of them up for, you know, too much, you know. See, like, to me that's a little more covered up than I'd want it. But if I, you know, no matter what, when I go to wrap it, it's going to sit like that. So I might be better off not using this feather, you know, and trying to find another feather. It's just trial and error. It's kind of a pain in the butt because you got to kind of find the right mixture of feathers that go, that kind of work together. That will work. They don't all have to be even. Yeah, it's kind of a pain. You just gotta play until you find the right one. There we go. I might be able to work with that. Yeah, it doesn't always say. I don't really want those two together, but I don't know if I have a choice because I'm having trouble finding ones to work together with the other one. There we go. That's good enough. We'll have to make that do. There we go. Now there's 3 together and they're kind of different. That's what I wanted. Just 3 slightly different from each other. Now, what I end up doing is taking a piece of floral tape. If you don't have floral tape, I'm sure you can use a piece of washi or something. But I have floral tape, so I just take a little piece. You don't need a lot because you're not going to use the whole thing. You're not floral taping it all the way up. It's just to get it to stay together. And if you know anything about floral tape, it gets stickier as you pull it apart. So as you stretch it, it gets stickier. So what you want to do is you want to get it to stick on there first of all and get your feathers to stay put. Just enough to hold your feathers together, really. So any tape will do. Masking tape, you know, anything will really do, because this is kind of sticky, so I don't know if that's the best kind to use. You want to be careful that you don't, when you finally tape it, it doesn't lose your feathers. There we go. And then what I did was, you could do several different things. Don't just do what I'm doing. You can wrap the whole thing in raffia. You could wrap the whole thing in twine. You know what I mean? You can wrap the whole thing in wire. You could do a mixture of both. That's what I did on this one. I kind of did a mixture of both. I did some wire and then I stuck some jute. You know, I was like, whatever. You know, I didn't really have a rhyme or reason. I just kind of was doing it because I happened to have this pink wire and I had some skinny purple wire, but wrapping that was a pain in the butt. So I only did it a part of the way because it was kind of difficult. You know, because it took so long to wrap that little bit. But I'll do like gold wire or copper wire. I think this is copper. So we could do some copper. And what I basically did was I wrapped it around and then twisted it so it would stay put. Now I'm doing this right above where I started taping. And then I just started wrapping that to cover up the tape. And also to cover up that little piece of wire that's left over. And every now and again you might have to push it up a little bit so that it like stays tight together. You know what I mean? Like you give it a little push, shove all of the wire up. Just don't wait too long to do it. You know, don't do a whole bunch and then try to push it up because you might not get it up properly. And it might start to look sloppy. You know, do like 5 or 6 wraps and then push some up. I mean, if you got a little thicker wire, you'll be better off. You know, you still want it to be pliable enough to wrap around without being a pain in the butt to do it. So, you know, something a little thicker than this would be better. It'll go quicker. But this is, you know, like I said, I don't really have, I either have really thick wire or I have this wire. And you don't want it to be too loose, so you want to make sure that you're keeping it, you know, pretty tight. Not so tight that you're going to make your feathers lose their positioning. But I usually just do enough wire to cover the tape, and then I switch to something else. Or you can not do anything. Okay, so I'm at the end of where I want to wrap. So I'm going to take a little bit more wire and cut that off. And then I'm just going to feed this through all the wires, and it'll come up the other end. So I'm just sticking it through and up, and it will, I mean, I've not had it not come up the end. I just do that and pull it. And pull it like that, and then go, and I usually do this in the back, and then go back down and do it again because I leave myself enough wire to do it. And I just do that a couple times until it pretty much hides the wire, because I haven't got nothing to wrap it around to secure it, so that's the best way to do it. And if it doesn't go up anymore, well, then I just snip it off. I mean, it's not really going to just come unraveled. It would take a lot for it to do that. I don't have my glasses on, which is not helping the situation. And I don't know where my glasses are, which is not helping the situation at hand. Trying to grab onto a wire that I can't see. There we go. Okay, good enough. Okay, there we go. Now I got that done. Whoa, I just dumped my wire into the garbage. Okay, and now you can choose to add a thicker wire. This is where you'll add your little loop to add your charms. So I'll show you how to do that real quick. So you're going to take a thicker wire, whatever kind you have, just as long as it's a little thicker. It can be an aluminum wire, you know, it can be a regular wire, whatever, as long as it's a little thicker and can hold its shape a little better than that, because the skinny wire is not good for this stuff, or not good for the loop making. So let's see. Alright, looks like I'm using the pink one again. Or do I want to use copper? I can use copper. Alright. So, where's the end of it? There we go. So, basically, going to wrap it. You want something that's going to hold its shape, which is why I said, you know, you want to, like, it's hard to do on camera. Little wire work is always hard to do on camera. You want something that's going to wrap around and kind of hold its shape, which is hard to do. I usually just have to start wrapping it down. I'm just wrapping it down all 3 feathers until I get to the where I want it. Right there. Okay, so since I want it in the front, I just wrapped it around, and I'll deal with the top in a minute. And now I'm going to leave myself some space, some wire, and I'm going to cut it. I'm going to leave myself, you know, an amount sticking out like that. So that's what it should look like. This part back here I will deal with. By just cutting off the excess, because if it's a thicker wire, it'll hold its shape. And then you might have to finagle with your feathers a little bit and bend them, because now that they're wrapped, you can kind of finagle them. If you have any wire sticking out, you just got to do your best to push it in without wrecking your feathers. So there we go. I got it finally. So now what you're going to do is, now you're going to make a little area to make your loop. So you wrap it around and get it wrapped towards the front, and then kind of bend it up like that, so it's sticking straight up, straight out from the feathers. Just kind of bend it so that it's sticking straight up, so it's not in wrap mode anymore. It's kind of like, stop, sticking straight up. That's kind of how you want it, like put a kink in it. And then from there, you can cut it off a little bit, because you only need about a 1/2 inch to do this. Because I'm only going to do a basic loop. I'm not doing like wrapping all this stuff, because it's hard with the feathers to do all the wrapping. So I'm just going to do a basic loop, and then you can just grab it with your round nose and just bend it down, and keep bending it down until you get a loop. And then you can bend your loop downward, and hopefully I can get this down. Mine's kind of too far down. And you can, well, this one's not working out too well. Hold on. Let's start this again, because it's not happy and it's being a pain in the ass. Let me cut some more of it off, because I don't need it that long apparently. Let's try this again, shall we? It's trial and error. You're just going to have to play until you can make a loop. If you've never done basic jewelry, this might be more difficult. And I don't know why these pliers are awful. Let me get my other ones. Like, I've never seen round pliers that had that much of a gap in the center that you can't use it to twist your wire. Never seen that in my life. I'll show you what a real pair is supposed to look like. There's not supposed to be, see the gap? That's a little gap. Look at these. Where'd they go? Like, wire will grab in a gap that big, but this one, the gap is so huge that the wire is not grabbing. Those are crap. And I probably paid more money for those than I did these right here, which these are the ones that are supposed to be crap, but these actually work. Oddly enough. Well, it doesn't matter which way you go with the wire, as long as you can get a loop with it. Alright, my loop is cattywampus because, and I can't go back and change my thing, so I'm just going to be done with it. It doesn't matter. You're not going to see it. Nobody's going to pay attention to the loop. Anyway, that's what you want. You want a basic loop. You just want to get a loop onto the end so that you could put your jump ring on with your little charms. And if you don't have jump rings, they're cheap. You know, they're just the little rings. And I'm just using whatever because it's boho. So keep that in mind. It's not meant to be like all matchy-matchy. It's meant to be boho. Just whatever. Boho is just basically all patterns and colors mixed and melded together. That's what boho is. So like all the metals shouldn't be matchy-matchy. They should all be different and, you know, just whatever. Boho is like gypsy. You know what I mean? That's basically what boho is, bohemian or gypsy. That's what is basically what it is. Alright, I hope that'll work. because I'm having issues here today apparently with everything. When I did the first one, it went so smoothly. As soon as I turn the camera on, everything's a mess. Okay, so then you're going to pick out a couple charms, and I've got these little goddess charms, which so fitting for boho. Got this other charm that says wish, and I thought I had another charm around here somewhere. Here, I'll stick a love thing on there, and there we go. I got a little yellow key. There we go. Alright, let's get to business. Let's get down to business and get this over with. And of course, there's like something on this. Yeah. Let's get it over with. Come on. It's taking too long. You want to just, damn it. Want to make sure they're going to sit properly. That's going to be backwards. There we go. Like that. And then the goddess. Like that. And I'll put that one on another one. And then you want to close your split ring or jump ring or whatever it is. Close it, and then you've got your little charms, which I may need to adjust this and put a second jump ring on, because I think that's too full for that jump ring, but you get the drift. And then I even have these little bells, which I put on this one. They're not really very ringy, but they're cute. They're more cute than they are ringy, because they're colorful. They're perfect for a boho look. And basically what I did with these was I just took a head pin, which it looks like it has like a nail head on the top of it, and I just threaded a couple different colors of the bells through it. My phone rang, of course, because it's daytime. God forbid I try to film in the daytime. Oh, no, no. Not allowed to do that. I guarantee you, every time I film in the daytime, the phone rings. That's without fail. It doesn't just ring once. It'll ring like 4 times. I just turn the ringer off. The problem with that is I never remember to turn it back on. So then if I get phone calls, it's like a nightmare, because people are like, I can't get a hold of you. So, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Right? Right. Okay, so I put them on there. I'm going to give them a little bit of space. I'm going to make a 90-degree turn and then turn back on itself until I have a loop. It's not a very pretty loop, but I don't care. It's boho. That's the point. It's not supposed to be perfection. And I'm going to put that right on that jump ring. And I'll go back and adjust these charms and give them another... Dang it. Give them another ring later. But yeah, you can put as many or as little as you want with the charms. You know, do it however you want. It'll look fine. And then you take your fiber if you want to. You don't have to. And I have these colors, and I guess this one would look good, like any one of these I guess on here would. Maybe I'll do the yellow one. This little jute pack of colors, which I can never figure out how to get the first string going. Okay, so then I'm going to I'm just going to take a piece. I'm not even paying attention to how much. I'm just taking a 18-inch piece maybe. I don't know. And I'm going to tie it. I'm going to tie a little, like the beginning of a knot. And then slip it around there. Like that. And then just wrap it wrap it a little bit with the one, and then wrap it a little bit the opposite way with the other. And then, whoops, don't let go, because it will come open. And then hold it down one, and then wrap the other one. And then hold that one, wrap the other one. You know, until you're happy with it. And then just, whoops, no, get back here. And just, keep it tight enough where I'm having issues because I'm clearly on camera. And so, yeah, that's how it goes. Anyway, you're going to tie it as best you can, tight without screwing up your feathers. It's hard for me to show you on camera because I'm trying to hold this down at the same time, but you get the drift. Do it however you want. It does not have to be done a certain way. Give it a good tight tie. Tie your bow however you want. You can cut off your excess, leave it long. My scissors, that would be helpful. And there you go. Now, if you want to hang these from something, you're going to have to keep that in mind and put yourself like a little loop or, you know, something. You're going to have to, I'm not going to teach you that part. You can figure that part out. Just, you know, either put a piece of wire up through there and make yourself a loop to hang it on, and you can hang it somewhere. You can get a piece of wood from outside, like a stick, a branch, and hang a bunch of them at different lengths from it. You know what I'm saying? How cute that would be. And I might do that. You could take them and hang them onto a bottle. Just hang them onto a bottle. You can even hang it by the loop of the bow if you tie a double bow, you know, a double knot bow, tie it twice, then it'll be strong enough to just hang it by that. But you can hang them on things, you know, just hang them. I don't know, hang it on a gift, give it to somebody, hang it on a Christmas tree at Christmas time, hang it, you know, I don't know. I'm just saying, I think they're pretty. They're little tassel-y things. You could do whatever you want with them. Give them away in Happy Mail. I'm sure I'll do that. But how cute are they? They're just so cute. You can't resist. You have to make some. And I know Secret's going to make some. She's going to go crazy when she sees these. Because she likes tassels and she likes feathers. Bam! And she likes boho. So put together a boho feather tassel. And she's going to be out of her mind making these for a while. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. Speaking of Secret, I want to show you something. Speaking of Secret, look what her daughter makes. Her daughter makes these phone cases and they are absolutely gorgeous. She hand makes them and she made this one for me. Isn't this cute? I love this. It's so adorable. And she sells them and they're $15, which is very, very reasonable. And her business, hold on. Her business is called Guilt Trip Apparel. And there's her sticker, which is cute. It's got the little middle finger. It's cute. But anyway, that's her sticker. Her logo is Guilt Trip Apparel. And she's offering a 10% off coupon to my subscribers. So if you want, you could pick the colors you want and everything. You can email her, or no. Her website is guilttripapparel.bigcartel. I'm assuming .com. I don't know. I will put it in the description. I thought that was that website doesn't make sense. Okay. I will put it in the description. The website will be in the description where you can go. And also her Instagram is @GuiltTripApparel. You can check her out on Instagram. See all kinds of pictures of all the things that she makes. Really awesome. I think these are really cool. So yeah, you get a 10% off your entire purchase if you use the code PINKPOODLE. And she makes other things too, not just phone cases. But look how cute this is. It looks like it's frosted, and then it's got like little seahorses and bows and shells and a little, yeah, whatever that's called. Starfish, I couldn't say it. But isn't that cute? So you need to check her out, please. Because I think you'll really like it. And if you want something really cutesy, I mean, there's all these little cute little hearts in there. It's so cute. So if you want a cutesy phone case, then you need to contact her, because she will make you a cutesy phone case. So anyway, that's all I want to show you about that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you will make yourself some boho tassels. Very cute. Make yourself some boho tassels, or boho feather tassels, and make yourself some feathers. Do some embossing. Emboss you some feathers. Fun. Good times. And have a blast. So, yeah, that's it. Make sure you give this video a like, a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and share this video on your social media if you wouldn't mind, your Facebook, your Instagrams, your Twitters, your Snapchats, Snapchat, and I'd appreciate it. Make sure you do what you love and love what you do, and be nice to people, and I will talk to you later. Bye.